It's mi monte, or I should say, hey, it's mi monte. It is St. Patrick's Day. I hope the leprechaun didn't get you. It's Friday, March 17th. It is St. Patrick's Day. The leprechaun, I hope the leprechaun didn't mess up your room too, because the leprechaun came and messed up our room. If I don't have little faces inside some of the video I sent on Class Dojo, I will put some here. If not, the leprechaun got us. He had streamers everywhere. He had gold coins that he had thrown throughout the room. He had necklaces that he had thrown throughout the room. And then he also had those gold coins that were chocolate. He is so magical. And he came and he gave us those also. So our kids, my kids, because I showed up late and I couldn't make it to my room, they came in and they saw the room was a mess. What did we do so far? It's lunchtime. Hi, it's lunchtime. This morning was a controlled chaos. It was great and fantastic and fun, and the kids were yelling and screaming and so excited. And then we sat down and we did either ST Math or Zern. So I just wanted them to get past lesson 1 this week for our module 5. And if they were past lesson 1, then they did Zern or ST Math, and if they weren't, they sat and they did Zern. So they were doing that. While they were doing that, I was pulling friends in my small group table, and they were making, these are called pom-pom buddies that I got from our art store. I always go to the art store when they have like the holiday stuff, % off, right? I think this one's from Hobby Lobby. So I went and we got those. I got those, and that's what we're making. So when we pull groups, I'll be pulling more kids and we'll finish up making our pom-pom buddies. I'm holding the pom-pom buddies over there for right now because they're kind of a bit wobbly, so I'll let them take them out as they go home. We listened to a story. I forgot what it was. But they listened to a St. Patrick's Day story, and then we went out to recess. It was Champ Store, so we were a little bit late coming back from recess because everyone was in line trying to spend their Champ bucks. It's just like our incentive for behavior we have at school. After that, we went to sing along. Second grade had sing along, so we went there and we listened to St. Patrick's Day Irish music, sang along to some spring songs. We came back to the room. We were going to finish math. Math was whole group. I went and I bought Lucky Charms so we can do that old great activity we all do of Lucky Charm graphing.
Gray. I still like gray. I got the gray. Rainbow! I got the two.
So this one's mine. When they were on the carpet, I showed them what we were doing. I did model it for them, and then I sent them to their seats, and then they did it on their own. And then after a couple of minutes, I'll say 5-8 minutes, when everyone was like finishing this up, we went and we did the back, which is looking at your graph and then answering questions that go with it. So it was asking how many in all, so they did some counting and adding, how many was most, least, and then it had some addition problems in there. It doesn't say who it's from, so I'll link it below, but this is what we did for math whole group. It's lunch, so when we come back, we are going to come in, and I have a few things we're going to do. I have, if I found a pot of gold, we're going to color it, cut it out, and then we'll do our writing. I printed this on the back so that way when they have more space to write and when they cut it out, it'll have the lines there for them in case they need more. I was going to copy this also, but I thought they were going to write it and then copy it, so we'll just do some writing together. So if I found a pot of gold, and so I'm going to have them write, if I found a pot of gold, I would fill, and then period, and then we're going to get to our first. What are they going to do first, next, and then last? And so they're going to write their little narrative of the pot of gold. So that's going to be for writing. I also have an ABC order that came in a pack. Doesn't say who it came from, so I'll link it below, but it's just ABC order for St. Patrick's Day. And it has shamrock, leprechaun, Irish, pot, gold coins, rainbow, green, lucky. So they'll put that in order. And then we'll probably do our phonics. And then after our phonics, which is going to be our phonics test today, after our phonics is going to be, they're going to cut these out and we're going to see how many words they can make with leprechaun. So they'll move them around. If they can make a 3-letter word, they'll write it right there, 4, 5, 6. And so they'll make words using the letters in leprechaun. I think this all came in the same pack. So I got this, it was free. And so I just looked up free things on TPT, of course, and then that's what we're gonna put together. In reading, or for reading, this time around, so our last report card, I pay attention to ask and answer questions. So I pay attention to the answer questions. So from Created by Crystal, it is a comprehension test that goes with the stories in the anthology, so the big book. So the second story has, I only bought unit 4 on. I don't know if they come for the other units also, but this is what I pay attention to as a grade for the third report card is going to be comprehension. Where before it wasn't, I didn't focus on it as much because I was teaching them how to read. So right now, from now on, I pay attention to comprehension. So this is gonna be their comprehension test. And so we're going to read the story one more time, and then they're going to take their comprehension test. So I need to do our flashcards for the words, our high frequency words, and then I have my other flashcards for the sound of the week. And so I need to do those. I need to go make this copy, and then that's what I have. And then we have centers, which they're gonna finish up centers from yesterday. While they're doing centers, I'm gonna pull the other friends, and they are going to make their little guy. Oh, it got stuck. I didn't want to buy the glue, like the craft glue where it's more tacky and it stays better. I just used what it came with it. So next time, Natalie, make sure you buy the craft glue so that way it stays better than just the little stickers that they provide. I think that's all I have to make. So I'm gonna go eat lunch, make my copies, and then I'll enjoy the rest of the day. I've decided that the kids need more than 5 minutes to clean up. So from now on, I'm gonna set my alarm for 2:35, give them 10 minutes to clean up, and we'll see if we can move on from there. I usually have my alarm going off at 2:40 so they can start cleaning up 5 minutes, but they just take so long. So I'm gonna do 10 minutes at the end of the day. I think I'll put like a little bit of music on and they have to clean up. Today, I stood in front of their backpacks and I did not let them go to their backpacks until the room was clean. And then I let them go to their backpacks because if I say clean up, they just go to their backpacks and they stand there like I'm done. So group effort, we talked about, we had an SEL lesson today and it was my classroom family or something like that, and how we're a family in the classroom and we need to do things together for each other, take care of each other, be kind to one another, help each other. And I think that's what we're going to do because families clean up the whole house. And so students need to help clean up the room. So there's 24 of them. They can spend 5 minutes cleaning the room, even if it's not their mess. They need to clean up the room. It's 3:46, so I've been here an hour. What have I been doing? I have been correcting. Starting now, I'm gonna have a comprehension grade. So my comprehension grade is going to be on our story. It's usually the second story in our week, in our, I think it's called the anthology, the literature anthology, the big book. That's what I call it. The big book usually has a test that comes from that pack that I got. So we did it one today. I read it to them and I told them these words you should all know, but I read it to them because I still have friends that they're working more off of oral comprehension than reading comprehension because they're not readers yet. And I know that, you know that. And so I still read it to them and to see at least maybe they have the oral comprehension. I still had like 3-4 kids that did not pass. They passed with they failed with a 1, and then everyone else got 2s or 3s. So that's a comprehension grade. AR, we're gonna test, I think next week. I'm gonna have to look when STAR opens. We're gonna test next week. I'm gonna give them the reading test, and then the friends that have, that can do the reading test, that pass and have a ZPD, I'm gonna start giving them goals that they have to meet. STAR sets up goals for them, so I'm gonna start abiding by those. My friends that cannot pass the reading test, I'm still gonna ask them to take 1 reading test a week. And so everyone has to take 1 reading test a week on AR. So it's a book they read and then they take the test. At the end of each week, that's gonna be a part of their comprehension grade. So my friends that take multiple, it's gonna be an average. My friends that take the 1 that they have to take, that's the grade that they have. But a lot of my kids, They're taking AR tests left and right. So I am going to go actually today, and I'm going to look at everyone's AR test and give them a comprehension grade, because those are books that they read at their level and they take the tests on it because they choose to. My friends that don't take a test, they're not going to have a grade yet, but starting next week, everyone's going to have at least one grade for AR. So I do use AR as a comprehension grade my third trimester because it's there, it's available, books they read, that tells me their reading comprehension, where sometimes the test we take on this series is more of their oral comprehension. So that's one grade I get weekly. Phonics is either going to be a writing phonics grade or they read the words. So either way, it's a phonics grade, and they're going to do that weekly. That goes with our sound. And then I get a high frequency word grade. I test them, flashcards, on the high frequency words of the week that go with the story. And they're also the high frequency words that go with our sound. So sometimes it like double dips, because our phonics grade is, some of them are our high frequency words because I do use them as our high frequency words. So like this was a long O. So part of our words inside our homework was show, and those are part of the words that I have to do flashcards on. So they are supposed to read them at home. We read them here on flashcards. The ones from the story don't follow the phonics lesson that we're doing, but the ones that I add, they do follow the phonics lesson. So we had, I think, 10 extra that followed the long O sound, and there was like 5 that just came from the series. So we're going to do that. So I have that grade also, high frequency words. So I get that grade during the week. Writing, well, if we do any writing, that's a grade, but I usually grab, this is our high frequency words. So I usually look at this, you know, not great work right here, but I look at this and I'm looking for how they wrote their sentences. So I'm looking for capital, does it make sense, punctuation, and I'm looking for spacing. So that's what I'm looking for in my sentences, and that's going to give me a writing grade of their sentences. I also look at there's 2 writings during the week. I look at, here's one, so I'm going to look at this and I'm going to look for the same thing. So for writing, I get 2 grades a week for writing. One is just sentences that come from their high frequency words, and the other one is one of the working on writing centers that they do. I just grab one and we look at it, or I look at it and I look for the same thing. So I'm looking for capitals, spaces, does it make sense, punctuation. That's what I'm looking for. And then if I do anything with a genre of writing, so I'm looking at, look, I have something here. I didn't grade it, but it's in here. So we read about bats, and then they had to write about bats. So this is going to be a piece of my writing grades. I've been thinking about doing journals. It's the end of the school year. You know, we have 4 months, 3 months, 4 months. I've been thinking about doing journals for their writing. So they have to write in the journal every day to get them writing more. So I've instituted reading to self every day, every morning. And I think I want to start doing probably like after lunch, they have to take out the journal and write. That gets into the whole paper thing because we have copy clicks. And so that means I'm gonna have to sit there and make journals for them to write in, and then I'm gonna run out of copy clicks, and it gets into that whole drama. I think if I do it by the week, I can probably get it done on the other copy machine that doesn't count our copy clicks. So make their masters and then take time and just stand there and take probably triple the time to make them because I can't use the fast machine. Who knows? There's an air show this weekend and all we hear are jets and jets and jets, and the kids were freaking out a little bit, but I was like, there's an air show, guys, it's okay. And so that's all I hear right now are the jets practicing. So that's my plan, to get them writing more. So I want them to do addition, subtraction more. I want them to read more, and I want them to do writing more. So there's a lot of things that are gonna happen during spring break where I decide that I'm gonna change things. So we'll see what changes. So that's what I usually use for grades. So usually for grades, oh, and then for math, so 99 math, and then for math, every time, I barely started to use Zern. So every time it changes topics, I'm going to do a quiz to check how they're doing. They do have a mid-module test quiz, which is great, but they switch topic, like I'm on topic B already, so I wanted to test topic A. So every time we switch topics, I will get a, I'll make a quiz or see what they used for their mid-module quiz and use that for a quiz to test on what we just taught. And so I have those. So far, technically, we're a week into our new trimester. So I have 2 is going to be the AR grade. So I have 2 comprehension grades. I have 1 phonics grade. I have 1 high frequency word grade. I have 3 writing grades. And I have so far 3 math grades. And so in a week, that's how many grades I have. I try to get 2 to 3 grades a week for each subject, each thing. So that way it just, you know, each week it just builds up on it. We do a lot more than 1 or 2 things. We do a lot. But like I said, a lot of it is we're doing it together. So that's what I have. From like last week, I have fluency test. I didn't do a fluency test. And then I also have fluency tests, and that's another grade I get. Once a week I do a fluency test. There's fluency, a fluency assessment book, and I just copy those and then I send home. I didn't do one this week, but I send home. This is what the teacher's page looks like, where they mark what they got. This is what I send home, and it says right there what they're supposed to get. So this child got 54 words in the minute. Here's 23. Spring is 53. So we're not spring yet. To me, spring's the end of the year. So they should be somewhere in the middle between the 23 and 53. So this child's at 54. So she's already surpassed the end of the year fluency. So we're fine with that. So I gave her a 3 if they're way past, which is a 3 is at grade level. If they're way past the 53, like some of these kids had like 74, 78 words a minute. So if they got way past, like that child, I gave them a 4, which means exceed. So I have those that I'm going to give out also. So fluency grade, I didn't do a fluency this week. And I had one of my kids ask me, today's Friday, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, when are you going to test me? And so I thought he was very funny because he likes getting tested because he knows that he's getting better and better. So he likes getting tested on all the different things that we do. But I didn't test anybody in fluency, so I'll have to do that on Monday. That's what you do for my report cards. Like I said, they're done already. I just need to go and just look at them and make sure I can back it up. Because if anyone comes and asks why, I want to be able to back it up. But that's what we did. That's what I did right now. It's 4 o'clock. So I've been talking too much. I'm gonna go home. It's corned beef and cabbage at my house, or at my mom's house, because it's St. Patrick's Day. Next week, we're going to do unit 4, week 4. And I bought eggs to paint from the 99-cent store. I bought little erasers of bunnies, and I bought, I think, stamps. And so those are things I'm gonna give out to my kids next week. I bought those things to hand out. And that's what I'm gonna do next week. So next week's the week before spring break. Then we have 2 weeks off, and we'll come back and we're going to get started on making them 2nd graders. So I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. This is just a Friday in my life / St. Patrick's Day, and I'll see you later.